God was making a point to me that very simply, you cannot say you love Him if you don't love His ways. Keep in mind, Jesus is the way and the truth and the light, and no one gets to the Father except through Him. When He's talking about way, and I know we talked about this before in other videos, but He's talking about His way of doing things. And if you don't obey Him and do what He asked to do, you're not in His way, and therefore you're not one with Him, and you cannot enter into the kingdom. Jesus also said, I can't remember exactly where it is in John, I think it's in verse 15 or 14, somewhere around there. He said a couple different times that if you love me, you will keep my commands, or commandments, depending on the translation. And He's not talking about the 10 Commandments. Back in my old religious days, I used to believe that's what He was talking about, was His 10 Commandments. But He made the point the 10 Commandments aren't His. That was given by the Father. And the second thing is, when you read through the book of Exodus, where the commandments were given, it says very clearly that the men asked for the commandments. They said, we don't want to hear God because we're afraid of Him, and at least we die. So just give us some commandments to follow. And God was upset about it. The legal system, the way it's kind of set up too, they didn't have kings. They just had some prophets that kind of keep them going in the right direction. And they asked for a king like the other countries, the other tribes had. And both Samuel the prophet and God were upset about it, but they gave it to him. Kind of goes back to a video I did a few weeks ago about be careful what you ask for, you just might get it. Because a lot of things started changing when they received these laws and they received a king, and it wasn't for the good. When Jesus came, He reestablished the kingdom of God the way it was supposed to be, the way it was with Adam before the fall. And the covenant is with Him, and He is love. He shows the same love to everybody. His love is not the way we see love, where it's about telling people what they want to hear and going around giving hugs and everything to everybody. The true love of God is in the truth and the way, doing things the right way and living your life according to His will. And again, if you aren't doing that, you're not doing things His way, and you're showing a real lack of disrespect and a lack of love to Him. And without love, you have nothing. And we have to live in this love, and that's the whole principle. But the first part of it is, and I've done videos about love before, and you can read about love in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, where it defines what love of God is and how it works. And you'll compare it against your own love, your own idea of love, and you'll see that it's two way different things. And that's one of the ways that Satan confuses us and keeps us in our religious background or as an atheist or whatever it is, because it doesn't make sense. But once you start understanding from God and He explains things and teaches you, everything starts to make sense. And you're like, wow, I never knew that. I didn't understand that. And again, that's where the grace of God comes in, because He says, yeah, I know. Now you do. And if you don't live according to my will, you're quenching the Spirit and blaspheming the Spirit, because the Spirit's the one telling you how to live your life. He's whispering into your ear what the Father's telling Him. And if you do that, you have nothing with God. So we must live according to His love and keep His commandments. And the only way to live according to His love is to keep His commandments. The two are inseparable. You can't do one without the other. So as always, seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and everything else will be given to you. Peace.